Hello and welcome to In Summary. Today we'll be looking at Los Angeles, where tensions have exploded over mass deportation raids.
We have to stop people from pouring in, and we have to stop fentanyl, and that includes China. Fentanyl has killed this year at least 200,000 people. It's pouring in from China through Mexico and Canada, and they've got to stop it. And if they don't stop it, the tariffs are going to get worse, a lot worse.
Mr. President, I'm going to the border.
I'm Christine Ohm, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for securing our border and putting America first. Let me deliver a message from President Trump to the world. If you are considering entering America illegally, don't even think about it.
On June the 6th, 2025, US Immigration and Customs Enforcement carried out coordinated raids across Los Angeles, targeting locations such as Home Depot parking lots, a clothing factory in the Fashion District, and a wholesale outlet. During these operations, around 44 individuals were arrested, marking the beginning of a week of federal immigration enforcement actions that also included 118 detentions earlier that week. What began as relatively limited enforcement quickly escalated into a showdown.
What we have seen transpire in Los Angeles, California in recent days is shameful. Left-wing radicals waving foreign flags viciously attacked ICE and Border Patrol agents as well as Los Angeles police officers. The most basic duty of government is to preserve law and order, and this administration embraces that sacred responsibility.
That afternoon, crowds gathered near the Westlake Home Depot and the Metropolitan Detention Center.
This is a police camera surveillance system that has been toppled over here. There's a lot of different police tape, remnants, glass, debris that is all in the street as these violent clashes continue. And this morning we see a ton of law enforcement activity, different vehicles that have been shifting around, and we've seen the National Guard arrive here not far from Los Angeles as federal officials are saying if this continues, they will bring in branches of the U.S. military.
As protest numbers grew, some demonstrators hurled chunks of concrete and bottles at federal agents. In response, law enforcement deployed tear gas, pepper spray and flashbang grenades. By 7 p.m. that evening, authorities declared an unlawful assembly using less lethal munitions to disperse the remaining 200 protesters. By June the 7th, tensions had spread to Paramount and Compton, where peaceful demonstrations escalated after ICE agents arrived near a Paramount Home Depot. Authorities used flashbangs and tear gas once more as tensions intensified.
This violence that I've seen is disgusting. It's escalated now since the beginning of this incident. What we saw the first night was bad. What we've seen subsequent to that is getting increasingly worse and more violent. Tonight we had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you. And we have adapted our tactics to be able to have a chance to be able to take these people into custody and to be able to hold them accountable. We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity.
That weekend, President Trump declared the protests insurrectionist mobs and invoked his authority to deploy 2,000 National Guard soldiers to Los Angeles, bypassing California Governor Gavin Newsom's consent, the first such federal maneuver since 1965. Large protest groups converged near the Edward R. Roybal Federal Building and the Civic Center. Officers used tear gas and crowd control rounds. Some demonstrators blocked traffic on the 101 freeway and set fire to self-driving vehicles, creating plumes of black smoke in downtown LA. By June the 8th, more than 2,000 National Guard troops were on site, in addition to 500 Marines put on standby by the Pentagon. LAPD declared unlawful assemblies in several areas. Tear gas, rubber bullets and flashbangs were used. More than 50 protesters had been arrested, and injuries were reported on all sides, including among journalists. Federal authorities estimated around 1,000 rioters had participated in violent acts, though immigrant rights groups requested legal representation, citing fear of abuses. Downtown violence included scenes of burning police cruisers, vandalized businesses, and vehicles torched amid heavy confrontation with law enforcement. An Australian journalist covering the protests was struck by a non-lethal projectile on camera, showing flames and emotional tension during clashes that had spread to streets across City Hall.
We sent him in, not early, we sent him in late as far as I'm concerned, but big problems, as you know, 3 nights ago, big problems were ensuing. If we didn't send in the National Guard quickly, right now, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground.
By June the 9th, authorities had arrested dozens for both immigration violations and protest-related offences, including a Labour union leader accused of impeding officers in the raids. The federal plan called for daily deportation quotas of 3,000 migrants, causing a national outrage. California officials, including Governor Newsom, responded with condemnation. Newsom launched a federal lawsuit declaring the troop deployment unconstitutional, calling it imperialist and unauthorized.
We are here not just as Californians, but as Americans who are concerned with the direction of our country. Let me say this, we have laws. We have to go by the laws. We can't call in the National Guard unless we're requested by a governor. Those are not my words. Those are the words of Donald Trump in 2020. Today, he's doing exactly the opposite. He's deploying National Guard troops and now mobilizing 700 active duty Marines into Los Angeles without the consent of the governor or the request of the governor and local law enforcement. The chaos is the bait, and the switch is a constitutional crisis and power grab. Trump created this political distraction to divide us and keep our focus away from his policies that are wreaking havoc on our economy and hurting working families.
Something is very wrong with this picture. Inconsistent in his actions, contrary to his own statement that he couldn't, of a year ago, that he couldn't send anyone in without the governor's consent, any place, and in violation of the Constitution.
From Washington, President Trump defended the response, framing it as necessary to preserve law and order amid a migrant invasion.
What does your intel tell you about these people causing all the problems in LA? Are they people ICE is trying to deport, or are they professional agitators?
The people that are causing the problem are professional agitators, they're insurrectionists, they're bad people, they should be in jail. Thank you.
Defense Secretary Hegseth echoed support, warning of zero tolerance toward any violence. An overnight curfew has been declared downtown, and the US president has stood by his troop deployment. Critics, including military veterans, cautioned this might politicize the US armed forces. They warned that deploying active duty Marines without invoking the Insurrection Act could create dangerous constitutional precedents.